if there were no sports going on. And so as I try and think about what my reaction to that would have been, it's probably decide what it is that you want to do. If it is TV reporting, say yes to a news opportunity. There's so many people who start off in this industry as a TV news reporter and then eventually move to sports. My coworker did it. So many of the reporting skills that are necessary to be the best sports reporter possible have a backbone in news reporting. So if it is truly reporting that you're passionate about, say yes to an opportunity like that, because those are going to give you the skills that you need to one day accomplish your dream of being a sports reporter. So I guess the biggest thing is decide what it is that you like. Do you like sports or do you like reporting? Eventually those two paths are going to meet, but right now they can't meet because there are no sports going on. So in order to get there, you got to say yes to an opportunity that maybe puts you out of your comfort zone.
I like that. That's great advice. Okay, so I have some rapid fire questions for you.
Let's do it.
Okay, so favorite player ever, it could be any sport.
Favorite player ever, any sport, probably Tiger Woods.
That's good. Why?
Growing up, there's something nostalgic looking back on it. Sitting on my couch on a Saturday or Sunday with my dad watching Tiger just completely annihilate the competition. He made golf for me really fun, and whenever I would watch him, I would always want to go out and play golf myself. Whenever he wasn't playing to me, there was no reason why I needed to watch because it wasn't exciting. He brought energy and emotion and passion into a game that kind of desperately needs it at times, and that really drew me to him.
I love that. Special talent that you have that most people maybe don't know about.
I can name the capital of any given state faster than any competitor. So like if you were to say a state right now, I can name the capital faster than you or 90% of people.
Delaware.
Dover.
Wow, that was good. I didn't even know it was Dover. Let's see. Favorite team ever.
Favorite team ever. So I grew up a fan of the Denver Broncos and also kind of secondly the San Francisco 49ers, the Lakers, and the San Francisco Giants. And really the only one of those that has stuck with me throughout my entire 25 years of life has been the Giants. So I'm a diehard San Francisco Giants baseball fan.
Love that. Let's see. Favorite part of your job?
Favorite part of my job? I think it's something really small, but it just makes me really happy and gets me really fired up. It's when I'm writing a script and either I find the perfect way to lead into a reveal or a perfect way to end the story that just feels so powerful, so concise, so simple. And I love looking at it on the script. I love listening to it over and over again. I've always enjoyed writing. So whenever I'm able to tie a story or a package perfectly together with good writing, that's my favorite part of the job.
I love that. Hardest part of your job?
Hardest part of the job. Wow. I think the hardest part is when there are actually sports going on, making sure that I, as much as possible, carve out a place for my reporting to make it on air. And what I mean by that is on some days there are 3 of us in the sports department working. In my last job, there would be a max of 2, most days just 1. The amount of time we get in every single show isn't a lot. So how do we all come together and work together? Filling the time is easy. It's how do I squeeze myself into that time to make sure that I continue to get better on a daily basis? Because it would be super easy to go to Texas availabilities, interview players, cut a few sound bites, put those in the show, and call it a day. But I don't want to do that because that's not going to make me better. That's not going to be rewarding long term. So it's just carving out a place for myself every single day and making sure that I'm sticking up for my stories and making sure that complacency is never something that we fall back on.
Mm-hmm. Favorite interview anyone that you've gotten to interview? Favorite interview.
Wow.
Also, I saw your interview with Maria Taylor and it was so good.
You thought so?
I did it all live. I was like, dang, how did he perfectly? It was so good.
It was, so the story behind that interview really quick. For one, I had gotten probably 3 or 4 hours of sleep because we had gone from our high school football Friday show, which ends at 11. And then obviously we're staying there cutting stuff for the website and social media. So I got home at 12:30, went to bed. College game day starts at 6 a.m. I had to be there well before that to make sure we got parking and was set up and everything. So very minimal sleep. I was really tired. And she was on the ESPN College game day truck, and the studio was, or the set rather, maybe 200 yards away. I positioned myself right in between the two of them. And she knew that I was there hoping to interview her. But as she walks off the bus and is heading towards the set, she's like, okay, I got 2 minutes or whatever it was. So we had to perfectly time them taking the shot live to her walking up to me being like, okay, here we go. Starting to ask questions.
That's a lot of pressure. You could not mess that up.
Right. Because not only was I concerned about making sure that the interview was good, but it was also telling the producers, okay, she's walking up now, take me. And then also, hey Maria, look, we're starting this interview right now.
Yeah.
So, now that you say that, I guess that's one of my favorite interviews for sure. Another one that I really enjoyed was talking to a former Texas basketball coach recently. His name's Leon Black. He was in a lot of ways instrumental in helping the basketball team break the color barrier, and really instrumental with one guy in particular named Jimmy Blacklock, coach of the Harlem Globetrotters. His son played football at TCU. So when Jimmy Blacklock was in Austin with the Globetrotters, they were enshrining him in their Ring of Honor, making him what they call a legend. And Leon Black was at the game. I had called him a few days before saying, I'm looking to interview you at this game just about your time coaching Jimmy. Would you be open to it? And sure enough, he was. I found him courtside. This was before the game, so I set up my tripod literally in the stands. I'm sitting right next to him, asking him questions, and it turned out really good.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Really, really cool. Favorite sports book?
Favorite sports book? I got two. One that I don't even know if it really qualifies as a typical sports book, but it's my favorite book of all time, and it's called Into Thin Air by John Krakauer. It's about this group of people summiting Mount Everest. And the entire time I was on the edge of my seat because, as I'm sure you know, climbing Mount Everest is exceptionally dangerous. And so a lot of the times you're not sure if they're going to survive whatever obstacles in front of them. I consider that a sport. So that's my favorite book of all time. I also really enjoyed I think it's called The Last Shot. It's a book about March Madness. I want to say it's The Last Shot. I also could have The Last Dance stuck in my head. Or maybe it's Best Shot. Can I look it up really quick?
Yeah, of course.
I want to give you the correct answer here.
I like to ask that question because I want to read more like good books. So
Yes.
have you read Craig Sager's memoir?
I have not. No.
So good. You should read
Yeah, I will have to. It is Last Shot.
Okay, cool.
It's a book about March Madness, about this reporter covering March Madness, and about a scandal that is going on, a betting scandal that's going on simultaneously, and his path towards uncovering that scandal. I don't think I think it's a fiction book, pretty sure. It's been a while since I read it, but another one of those books that just has you on the edge of your seat the entire time.
Those are the best.
Yeah.
Favorite sports movie or documentary?
Favorite sports movie or documentary?
That's tough.
Yeah, I never know how to answer this question just because there are a lot that come to mind and also a lot that I haven't seen. Sandlot is for sure up there, just again because I'm big on the whole nostalgia thing, because I felt like I had a version of the Sandlot growing up. So that's probably 1A, and then Hoosiers maybe 1B.
Yes, that's good. Are you liking The Last Dance?
I'm loving it. For me, it's super educational, not only about Michael Jordan's career. A lot of the things I felt like I had heard before about Michael Jordan, but it's super educational to kind of put that time of the NBA in perspective and in context, to let us know the power struggle going on between Larry Bird and Magic Johnson and Clyde Drexler and the Detroit Pistons being the bad boys and all that sort of thing. Like, those are all things that I knew, but I didn't know how they fit into Michael Jordan's career like I do now.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I mean, I was born in 96. So like just to see this, how powerful he was just throughout the world is crazy. But okay, if you haven't already, 30 for 30, Dennis Rodman, 30 for 30 Bad Boys. It's so good. And it goes straight in depth of like both of their careers. So
I've seen the Dennis Rodman one. I haven't seen the Bad Boys one.
I love the Dennis Rodman one.
He's just a fascinating character. So any like form of storytelling around him, I'm all in on.
The whole time I was like glued to the TV. I'm like, did he really do that? Like, what?
Yeah.
He's awesome. Okay, and then what's the first thing you're doing post-quarantine when everything's back to normal?
Getting a haircut.
Yes.
I'm holding off though. I know that in Texas, barbershops are opening soon. Holding off just because, one, I don't feel exactly comfortable yet going to one. I don't want to be a reason why things may get worse. Don't know if they are going to get worse, but I don't even want to have that weighing on my mind. I am very much like digging the slow grow of my afro that I had when I was a little kid. But as soon as hopefully like June hits, I'm going to be getting a haircut. And I'll be very, very grateful that barbershops exist.
Yes, I cannot wait. It's crazy how quick we opened up stuff, but
I know.
Their own. But okay, and then just to end this all, if you could maybe pick like one or two stories, your favorite stories that you've gotten to tell so far in your career.
So the first one that jumps to mind is this story that I did fairly recently. It was on a high school baseball coach and his two adopted children. He has 4 kids, 2 that he and his wife gave birth to, and then 2 that they adopted. And so like the whole premise of the story was, it was at the start of April. So for him, this was going to be the peak of the high school baseball season. And he really wasn't expecting to be at home this time of the year. And he told me on camera, this is probably the most time I've gotten to spend with my kids the past 3 years combined during this time of the year. And I was like, what has that done for you and your family? Has it brought you guys closer together? And he said, yeah, like it's very much put in perspective just how much my family means to me. The time I'm getting to spend with them is just unbelievably rewarding. And so like on the surface, like that's a great story. But what made it just super visually compelling was that they have this backyard wiffle ball park that he created for them. They go outside every single morning and for an hour or two play a game of wiffle ball. And it's the two boys against two girls. And it had everything you look for in a good story, good TV story. Super visual, compelling characters, an amazing message, and people who were just excited for the time that they got to spend together.
I love that. That's so good. Yeah, quarantine isn't all bad. You can have good stories like that.
Exactly. And honestly, like, that's when I approached this entire time, I wanted to both strike a balance between people who were or had been adversely affected by it and tell their stories, but also knowing that, like, after a certain point in time, people are going to get tired of that. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to get tired of telling those, man, we're really disappointed stories. So it's also finding the uplifting stories like that one.
Yeah, that's so special. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me. This was fun.